It did not happen in some Gothic fantasy of a tiny cottage on a fog-shrouded moor, but rather in Derry, a major city in Northern Ireland. It was the 1940s, on a quiet side street known as Fulton's Place. The lane was quite near an old churchyard, the famous church known as the Long Tower, part of St. Columba's. That winter, one of the residents of the street, an elderly man, was lying in his bed. His health was failing quickly. Friends and relatives came to him, fearing they would never see him alive again. Of course, the priest came to administer the final sacraments that the old Irishman would receive in his days on this earth. Then there was a knock on the door. Probably more people arriving to pay their respects. Strange thing is, only one person, a teenage girl, heard the knock. Everyone else wondered what the heck she was talking about. Then she saw the doorknob rattle and heard more knocking, more insistent than before. After this, there was an eerie moaning sound, a low and sad lamenting from a woman. The girl wondered, why isn't anyone letting her come in? She was obviously in some kind of distress. The girl would take it no more. Even though it was not her house, she scurried to the door and swung it open. Then, as the other guests watched in horror, she screamed and fainted dead away. When she was revived, she told them she had seen an old hag with very long white hair. The crone was standing out in the cold, wringing her hands and crying out plaintively. The bizarre woman saw the door was opened for her and started to move toward it. That was when the girl screamed. As soon as she did, the ghostly woman vanished. The old man left this world a little later that evening. Meet the Banshee. Everyone has heard of this spectre, a ghostly Irish woman who cries out at night to predict the deaths of members of a family. There is the old expression, to wail like a banshee. However, beyond that, most people know little or nothing about this grisly herald of the grave. The Banshee is a bewildering entity that defies all attempts to analyze it. Like a will-o'-the-wisp, it moves about, always changing, always just out of reach. When you think you know what it is something else. Just when you think you have a hard and fast rule, it breaks it. There is always an exception.